Hello, everyone. My name is Stephanie Tan. I am a PhD student at the Socially Perceptive Computing Lab at Delft University of Technology. Today, I'm going to present my work for the topic Multimodal Joint Head Orientation Estimation in Interaction Groups via Proxemics and Interaction Dynamics. We motivate our approach from this typical in-the-wild social interaction scene. Human behaviors are a dynamic and multimodal phenomenon. Previously, head orientations have been studied in lab-controlled or pedestrian settings, but for in-the-wild settings, it remains a challenging topic. Our motivation is threefold. To better estimate head orientations in the wild, we argue that firstly, we can leverage temporal and multimodal data where different modalities complement each other. We use a small number of room-mounted cameras and wearable sensors worn around the neck, like smart ID badges that record body inertial motion, speaking status, and proximity. From the cameras, we extract positions and relative orientations of the subjects. Secondly, we propose a social context pooling in our neural network architecture in order to account for the fact that human behaviors are inherently coupled with each other. The intuition is that in the context of conversations, humans tend to orient their heads based on the flow of the conversation. And lastly, we formulate the head orientation estimation problem as a regression problem as opposed to an A-class classification, which is the mainstream approach. To ensure a finer granular estimate of the head orientations, which are crucial in social interactions in the wild. To support our vision of leveraging multimodal data, we propose the feature set including speaking status, triaxial acceleration, body orientation, and positions for estimating head orientations. We chose 10-second sequences for these signals as inputs, which is a design choice by observing speech durations in the interactions. To accommodate the sequential nature of the inputs and to capture the group context, we adopt a shared LSTM network-based approach. For social context pooling, here we exemplify the recurrent step of the proposed model from T to T+1. The information stored in the hidden states associated with each individual are combined together to obtain a group-level context represented by this K vector. Afterwards, this group-level context is concatenated with the respective hidden states of each individual and passed on to the next LSTM cell. For the last point, our argument in favor of regression is twofold. Firstly, modeling orientations in a classification setting assumes that the classes are independent from one another, while angles are ordinal. This lends naturally to a regression formulation. Secondly, the head movements can be completely undetected if orientation are expressed in terms of classes, as they could be binned into the same class. In our example here, we show that the discretization results in a loss of valuable information. And hence, a regression setting tackles these two problems. To showcase our performance of the proposed model, we designed several baselines. First, we devised a rule-based method to capture a specific type of dynamics. That is, listeners tend to orient their head towards the speaker. A speaker's head orientation is given by the circular mean of the orientation of the positional vectors from the speaker to each of the listener. Next, without including the temporal information, we propose a frame-based method. The sequence-based method is a simplified version of the proposed model, which does not pool the hidden states of other members of the group. These two methods capture only the individual perspective. In our proposed method, which we consider as a group model, we jointly estimate the head orientations of all members in an interaction group by considering the relative information between all possible pairs of individuals and context pooling the hidden states between the subsequent steps of the LSTM. Lastly, we show that our proposed method outperforms these baseline methods. To conclude, our contributions include, first, we introduced a social context pooling model in the shared LSTM architecture to capture the group context. Secondly, our newly proposed feature set for head orientation estimation without any visual features is a step towards a purely sensor-based and non-intrusive approach for head orientation estimation in crowded and in the wild settings. We also show the advantage of regression over classification and multimodal data. And lastly, we contributed significantly to an existing data set by providing upper body key points, head body orientations, and group memberships and group membership annotations. To get access, please visit the link in the footnote, which is also in the paper. For more detailed results, please refer to the paper and its auxiliary material. This concludes my presentation. Thank you for your attention, and I would welcome any questions at this point.